to the east from there, basically the end of the street, east to the, I think there's another parcel back there as well. So it's a fairly large parcel. The North Country Trail skirts around through there as well, and it borders up along the river. And there's lots of potential there. And like Paula said, that the scout troop, I did reach out to the scoutmaster, and his concern was vandalism, because in the past they had that. But I think cleaning it up, making it look nice, partnering them with the Boy Scouts as far as things to do up there, I think is a win-win for everybody. And that vandalism, I think, would probably go away as best as it will, regardless if we do anything or not, in my opinion.
Thanks.
Any other questions?
Any questions on that?
Thank you, Dan.
If you don't, well, I have a question for you. So being new to the chairperson role, I would love to hear your preference as far as how you would like to interact with the Parks Commission. I think we're all clear that I am not Perry Beecham, and I'm not as involved in our community as he is, so I may not be at all the city council meetings. I may not be at as many events and things, because I have a full-time, I mean, he has a full-time job too. He's like, I don't know how he did it. He has so much, he does so much in our community. But, so I just wanted to ask you, how do you expect to get updates, communications, questions, things from the Parks Commission? Do you have a preference for that?
Yeah, I think I'm looking at
or for me specifically?
Yeah,
that would be me, Paula.
Yeah, Leah is our rep on the city council, so anything you feel like you need to bring back or is important, you can forward that to Leah. She can bring it to our attention, and we can address it that way.
Okay, did you say, I'm sorry, I'm having trouble hearing you. Did you say forward it to Leah? Leah will take it and
yeah, she'll bring it to
your
our
attention and do that. Okay, wonderful.
Yes.
Yeah, she's awesome. All right, cool.
Yep.
Good. I just feel like if I don't actually ask, then there could be misunderstandings and we never really know, so.
Well, if,
all right,
if you feel
lovely.
you want to bring it
Thank
personally
you.
too, that's
Thank
fine.
you for the time on this. And is there additional communication that will go back towards the Parks Commission if the city begins work on any of these priorities? How does that work?
Would be important through Mike.
Mike and Dan, Dan will be passing it back to you.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Wonderful. Okay, thank you. And we are going to do what we can to get grants and private funding as well, but as you know, there's only so much money, as I'm sure you're very well aware of. So, thank you. Yep. That's all I have.
Okay, we'll go to boards and commission reports. We'll start with you, Marty.
So planning commission, we had a marathon night, actually back on Light Power Board. Those are shorter now. A towing facility came back and asked for another special use to do car repairs. We're here at the end of Washington. The new building that's going to be built behind the oil change place came to us. So we can get them all squared away. They take electronic pieces and they disassemble them. It's very low maintenance. Not a lot of truck traffic. They're going to be right up tight to the trailer park there, so there's a lot of discussion on how to keep that not as visible, but a 40-foot tall building, it's pretty impossible. And lastly was Joyology. We finally got to that. Gave him permission to go ahead. There's a ball diamond there that he was just going to tell people basically, nope, can't use it until they get everything figured out, and then people will be informed of what's going on in that building before anything else happens in the near future, because he bought that 5.1 acres. So it'll be nice to see that parking lot cleaned up, not all the grass growing right in the parking lot. So it was a long one, but we got her done. Hopefully next month we'll have a 20-minute one, and that'll be good. That's it.
Thank you, Marty. Cliff?
Historical district, we gave some money to Mark Bachelor for the roof. We can see sort of right out our window here. Got a decent look at the future of the Spring Grove building. Mr. Canfield and he's partnering. There's going to be a Mexican restaurant there. The seating is impressive, and we brought some elevations for us to look at. It's going to be sharp. There will be music. And lastly, the museum is working on creating little informational plaques on each one of the buildings in the historic district. And she's obviously trying to raise funds, and we didn't really feel it fell in the purview of the historical district. But when she was talking about the cost, 3 of us in the room, or 4 of us in the room said, we're in. I mean, it's like $100 a building. I think the majority of the building owners would be happy to have something cool like that, because if you look around, the plaques that they've put up, the informational plaques get read and used all the time. That's all I got.
Thank you, Leah.
Yeah, so I met with the Chambers of Commerce. We have Expo coming up here. If I'm not mistaken, there's 70 booths spoken for, so I think it's going to be a grand event. I think it's really coming together well. They're working on getting the advertisements together, proper catalog. And then the showboat bricks go through April, and I believe that will be the end, that will be the cutoff for the selling of the bricks. And that's as far as Chambers go. For Parks and Rec, we meet actually tomorrow. But thank you, Paula, for presenting this evening. And that's about it.
Okay, I had a couple of meetings. The first one was the Arbor Board. It was canceled because we did not have a quorum. We do need 2 people to fill vacancies. I didn't see the thing until Monday afternoon. I did not look up my emails Friday night, so therefore I did not see the invite. So if I had made it, we might have had a quorum. But again, I'm not sure. So
I'm guilty also.
Yep. So I mean, I didn't see it. So and it was, we still need 2 people besides that on that part of it. My other one was low line power. It did go slightly over 4 hours. I missed the first 1 hour 45 minutes because I was on another Zoom thing for work. So I don't know what I missed the first 45, but the last 2 hours and 15 minutes, a lot of stuff was covered, you know, on that part of it. They already highlighted a few of those tonight. And Charlie told me that the next one will be 3 hours. Got a promise. No, I'm good either way. So it was good.
Who's running this meeting?
I was going to say, I don't think I made that promise.
Yeah, so I mean, there's always a lot of good information going back on what they're doing and accomplishing and things like that. So that's what I got. I guess we'll next go to the budget report. Mike?
I do have a quick question.
Sure.
When does Arbor Board meet?
It's
Second
a
Monday of each month at noon.
At noon.
What quarterly now?
Yeah,
We
did
changed-
6 times a year, 5 times?
We changed, it used to be monthly, and we shrunk it down
We
considerably.
might go from April to September or something like that.
Yeah, I think we have one scheduled for May, I want to say, and then it starts back up in the fall.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep. Do that. Mike,
Budget
budget report.
Not much has changed budget-wise that we've talked about in the last month. The only thing that we've done of significance is when we were working on all of our budgets for the year, we noticed that the data processing fund, which is where all of our IT stuff goes through, we haven't funded it like we probably should. We've had a lot of IT projects in the last couple of years. We're in the middle of a bunch of IT. We're going to have a lot of them in the budget this upcoming year. So we did, the way that's an internal service fund where the different funds contribute to that account. So we upped the data processing fund. We were able to bring some money from the water and the sewer and the general fund. We did up that amount to the subsidy because our fear was if we didn't do that, we'd be running in deficit for that account. We wanted to avoid that. We did have to make a slight subsidy also to the equipment fund. We were slated to buy 2 vehicles last year, and we didn't account for them this year. We still need to buy them, so in order to make sure that we corrected that, we made this switch. The only other thing is the marijuana money, the $28,000 that we received, I did already put that in the local street fund. So it's sitting in there, and we have a lot of street projects, so it's going to get used.
Because that was marijuana, did the bank accept that check? Money?
Yes. Well, we get the money from the state.
Oh, yeah,
so
from the
we
state,
get it from the
okay,
state.
just checking. I thought you got cash or
Yeah.
something.
No, we get our money. We get a check from the state. We get an electric EFT from the state.
Sorry, Mike.
Yeah, no, that's fine. So that's really, you know, I'll talk briefly about the next year budget in my manager's report, but that's basically the only thing that changed really. We've told you about all the other changes, and it really hasn't changed since then. We haven't taken the ARP money yet. If we do, when we do get that, we are going to put it in we have a separate designated fund account that we would put those funds in if we do that. So it doesn't match with the general fund. Oh, one other thing I did forget to tell you. It's gonna make it look like this year we spent a lot more money than we did, especially the $125,000 for the pension. If you recall, we made that $125,000 pension payment with our fund balance. It shows on our books this year.
Fine, exclamation point.
Lost my train of thought.
$125,000.
Yeah, so that money, even though it was last year's fund balance money, for accounting purposes, it did go through this year's account. So it looks like we spent a lot more money than we did, but we didn't, because it was last year's money. So that's all I have with the budget.
All right. Anybody else on the budget report? We'll go to monthly reports. Mike?
I have nothing to report unless you have any questions, or if you have any questions from all the reports.
No. Manager's report?
Yep, a couple things. Just a reminder, Lou Bender will be here next Monday night at the fire station at 6 o'clock. So he'll be here from 6 to 9. Mike and I met with him about 2 weeks ago about what we're going to discuss that night. Going to kind of refresh a lot of things that maybe we didn't as a council really talk about, expectations of the council with me and my expectations of the council. We did one of those when I first came to town, and the only person on the council at the time who's here now is Mike. So we thought it might be a good time to have that conversation again. So that's what we're going to be focusing a lot of our discussion on Monday night. But it'll be at the fire station at 6. As you all know, the budget went out today per charter, third Monday of the month it went out. We're going to talk about it on Saturday, May 1st at 10 a.m. right here. Just a couple of things I'll mention right now. We were able to include the cost for a full-time police detective in the budget. We also, in addition to the streets we're doing this year, which are Amity, Jane Ellen, Riverside, Jane Ellen, Amity, Foreman. Next year we also, not including Monroe, Washington, we've also included Valley Vista from Maine to Bowes, also Roberta Jane Drive, Faith Drive, Heffron Streets are proposed next year for construction. So we have that money set aside next year for those projects. So that's really I'll go into more detail at the budget meeting on the 8th, but you have a balanced budget. So. Also, police department, we made 2 hires in the police department last week. We did promote our part-time officer Ian Shears to full-time. Today was actually his first day full-time. He is currently working right now. He's going to be assigned to the night shift. Also, we hired a lady to replace Kathy in the police department, the administrative records clerk. Her name's Eileen DeVries. She did used to actually work for Kent County Sheriff's Office as a detective. Got out of the profession for a while, but was looking to come back in. Came very highly regarded from what Chris has told me, and her first day will be May 3rd. We have also made an offer to somebody for the sexton position. I do not know if they have accepted the offer just yet. So hopefully we'll get that hire filled relatively shortly. And that's all I have.
Thank you. Anything with appointments, Susie?
No, I'm not.
Okay. Just a reminder, we got a lot of holes to fill, so anybody out there in the public watching, listening, I think there's a list somewhere, Susie, of where those are.
Yeah, we usually put them in the newsletter.
Okay. Well, that will start with council comments. We'll go with you tonight first, Cliff.
I have nothing to say, Your Honor.
Leah?
I just wanted to say thank you to Parks and Rec and Chambers of Commerce for their due diligence and their passion for community. And I'm just happy to watch events go off as we navigate COVID and events. It's been stellar to watch them just navigate that. So hats off to them.
Thank you, Leah. Marty?
I have nothing.
I got a couple things. A couple weeks ago, I was out getting a petition signed to rerun for city council. One of my neighbors or somebody in the neighborhood had made a comment that I was out petitioning to get North Street turned into a cul-de-sac in the corner of North and Washington. So I had a place to park my trailer. So I found out who the individual was. I went over and spoke with him, told him no, that is a non-truth. Now we're going to do a turnabout there. So anyways, it was kind of funny about how things spread. Somebody starting a petition to do something that wasn't that part of it. The other thing on a note, I'd like to make sure we say our thoughts and prayers to Dave Pascal. Apparently he is ill and not doing very well at all. I believe he's in the hospital. I think he's battling with COVID as something like that part of it. My wife got the email from the Women's Club from his wife today, so I was thoughts and prayers go out to Dave on that part of it. So that is what I have. With that, Cliff, I'll look for an adjournment.
I make a motion that we adjourn at 8:05.
I'll second.
Susie, vote please.
It could be a voice vote.
Oh, this can be a vote, voice. Yes. All in favor by saying yes?
Yeah.
Yes, opposed? None? This meeting is adjourned.